here she comes, the highwaywoman. She comes with music for your soul, and then moves along. She moves along.
This is Bridget London. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Highwaywoman radio show. Right now, I'm so pleased to have back on the show one of my favorite songwriters, great musician who's got a brand new album out. We're going to talk to him, Mr. Gurf Morlix. Hey, Gurf, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be here. Good to hear your voice, Bridget.
It's good to hear yours, and I'm always so excited when we get new music from you, and you've been having all kinds of great projects the last few years going on in so many facets, and really looking forward to featuring this new album, which is called Gurf Morlix Finds the Present Tense.
You find it very, very tense.
So let's talk a little bit about this new album. You've already been going out on tour on it this year, and you're back in Austin right now. Tell me a little bit about recording this album and kind of where your heart and head was at with it.
Well, I feel pretty good about this record for a couple of reasons, and one is that it just made Rolling Stone's list of the best 30,000 albums released so far this year. Pretty proud of that.
There you go.
And it might be up to 40,000 by now. That was about a month ago. So I don't know. And another thing about this record is that I'm really proud of it because I made a conscious effort to get the body count down on this one. And the last couple of records of my material that I put out, really the body count was like up around 80 or 90 per record or something like that. So I kind of tried to lower that, and I got it down to 2.
Well, there you go.
So I was really proud of that.
Oh, Gurf. All right, let's play present tense, and then we're going to come back and talk to you about some of these songs and what's been happening with you. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, here's Gurf Morlix. He's found the present tense. Here it is.
It's coming our way. I ain't saying we don't deserve it, but it tends to darken my day. Trying to find the pattern here. I'm trying to make some sense. I'm feeling heavy vibrations. I find the present tense.
And that was Present Tense from Gurf Morlix and his new album, Gurf Morlix Finds the Present Tense. We're going to be featuring a variety of songs from the new album here. And the last time we talked to Gurf, he had released his Blaze Foley album and was working on that project. And kind of update us a little bit about what's been happening with that, Gurf. Kind of we're going along there with the documentary. How did that go? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was great. We, I released that record 2 years ago, and it was an album of all songs by Blaze Foley, who was a songwriter that I met back in Austin in the 70s, and who never had any success and ended up on this long, slow downhill slide into alcoholism and homelessness and ended up being murdered. And but since he's been gone, he's had a bunch of people discover how great his songs were, and so he's having a bit of a career, about 23 years too late. But I coordinated the release of my album with the release of this documentary film called Blaze Foley Duct Tape Messiah. The album and the film came out at the same time, and we spent more than a year playing that, taking the film and my album of Blaze songs all over the world, and it just felt great. It made me feel so good that every single night people would come up afterwards and thank us for keeping Blaze's music and memory alive, and that just made it all worthwhile.
That's fantastic, Gurf. It was really a wonderful project and an undertaking that, between the album was great, too. I play the album all the time and play the songs from the album on the show along with a lot of your own material as well. And I just thought it was, really to put that focus on Blaze and to do, take a whole year basically of your life to do that. I think that was a wonderful tribute to a great songwriter and an interesting artistic endeavor on top of it. And now here we are back with Gurf Morlix music, and you're so involved with music. You're producing other people all the time. You've got all these irons in the fire. And does it just feel good just to, get back and focus on an album of your own right now and kind of get these songs out there?
Yeah, it really, doing the Blaze album kind of put me back like 2 years as far as releasing my own records go.
Mm-hmm.
But I was fine with that. That was something that I wanted to do ever since Blaze was murdered in 1989. And
right.
I just knew at some point that I was going to dedicate a couple of years of my life to trying to help Blaze get a little bit of a bigger profile. But now it feels really good to be back playing my own songs again because, during those 2 years that I was working on the Blaze stuff, I kept writing my own songs. So I had maybe like almost 30 songs when it came to make this record. And
wow.
I love it, as you know.
Yeah, that's a lot of material, and that that's enough for 2 records.
Yeah, well, I figured it was enough for one half good one. So, but that's a luxury to have,
Absolutely, that's great.
A lot of people write 10 songs and just call that good and put it out. But if you got 30, you can be sure you get the best ones and try to find the best album you can in there.
That's right. Now, you've been on the road a lot this year already. You're back in Austin right now. Are you performing in Austin ever, Gurf? I don't really see you in Austin itself that much.
Well, I had a CD release show in March in Austin. I do 2 or 3 things a year really in Austin. A benefit here and there, and I always play a few times during South by Southwest, but I try not to saturate it,
Right.
Try to just do a couple of shows a year or something like that, and then I'm just so busy that I can't hardly do any more than that.
When you go out on the road, how many do you go solo? How do you go with a full band? What do you take with you when you go for doing your shows? What do people?
It's just me, and I have these 2 drum things that I sort of stomp on. It's me and a rhythm section.
All right, and cool.
It's the only way that it's viable these days. It
yeah.
costs so much to go out there. I would love to take a band, but I haven't done much band stuff in the last few years. It's just too difficult. It
really is, and hardly anybody is doing that anymore. I mean, it's just so much.
Anybody can afford to.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are changing, and this is part of my title. Gurf Morlix finds the present tense. See, things are changing, and I really do find it tense, and it's going to get harder and harder to tour. I think in the next 10 years, and I'm thinking there might be people coming up that may never even get to tour because the cost of living is rising so much, and the cost of gas and hotels and airplanes and all of that. So that kind of makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I hear that, and it's more important now than ever that's why I do the show. I feel like it's more, in whatever small way a person can contribute to helping get the music out there. We need to kind of do whatever we can and get people back out seeing live music in whatever way, whether it's a house concert or a club or whatever it may be. But it's more important than ever that we keep the music alive,
The tougher times get, the more people need music,
Absolutely. And that's a thing that can help us express ourselves and connect more with each other, and also, kind of open people's eyes to maybe things happening around them that they're not aware of. Music is a really good factor for that,
Absolutely.
Let's talk about this record a little bit more and play some cuts. Why don't you pick a song for us and tell me a little bit about the song, and then we'll play it for everyone.
Okay, well, as I said, I got the body count down to 2 on this record, so I felt that gave me the license to kill somebody off. It's called My Life's Been Taken, and it's about a guy in prison, and he just made a mistake. It was a spur of the moment mistake, and he didn't use good judgment. He wasn't very lucky, and ended up paying a big price for it.
All right, My Life's Been Taken, folks, by Gurf Morlix, and we'll be back with more.
One more day, one more breath, another moment closer to death. My body's moving, but my spirit is breaking. I ain't got no life, it's already been taken.
And that was My Life's Been Taken by my wonderful guest, Mr. Gurf Morlix. And we're going to be playing another cut. I want to just play a cut here that I've already been playing on the show as well. I love the whole album, of course. You know, Gurf, anything you do, I'm going to love. That's just how it works. But bang, bang, bang.
That sounds good. You know, I sat down to write a song thinking about heroes, and I was thinking about my first hero, and probably a lot of people my age was Roy Rogers, the king of the Cowboys, and he was on TV every Saturday, and I sat down to write a song about Roy, just thinking about that, and then this song just kind of popped out from that thought, and it's, you know, I wasn't looking to be political, and I don't really care which side you come down on the gun issue. But everyone has to admit that we have a gun violence problem in America. There's no doubt about that, and that's what popped out. Thinking about Roy Rogers, and then compounded by the fact that, you know, my friend Blaze Foley was murdered with a gun, and I know a few other people that were killed with guns, and so that's what came out. The song "Bang Bang Bang."
Yeah, and it is such a tricky issue because it's you know, the whole thing about the violence, and then also, you know, finding a way to protect ourselves, you know, if we needed to be, not to get all political or whatever, but against our government. And it's such a, you know, I'll be honest, it's an issue that I find confusing a lot of the time. I would, of course, prefer that there would never be guns, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to, you know, I'm confused. I don't really know. I mean, honestly, I go back and forth about how I feel about it for that reason. You know what I mean? But then when
we are a gun culture, and it's not going to go away, so we're forced to deal with that. But
right,
the problem is the gun violence.
Right, and just that it's treated so casually in film and video games, and, you know, we can go off about all of that, but it's become such a part of the consciousness, you know.
Yeah, there was a thing in the news a couple of days ago that I had missed because I'd been traveling, and I picked it up a day later, and some guy in Texas shot up some people and was killed by some cops, and we don't even read that story, you know.
Right. Exactly.
Just look at the headline, and it doesn't mean anything because it happens all the time. We're desensitized, and you know, unless it's a bunch of kids, nobody seems to pay much attention at all. And if you know anybody that's been killed with a gun, it hits home pretty hard.
Absolutely, absolutely. Or has used that gun on themselves. I mean, you know, that's
that too.
I've actually had 4 friends in my entire life that committed suicide by handgun. And, you know, that's just like, I can't even fathom that that's even true. You know what I mean? It just,
it's hard to deal with.
It really is. And I'm going to play this song here, Bang, 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 by my wise friend and guest here, Mr. Gurf Morlix, and we'll be right back.
Gone forever, miss him every day. Bullets flying through the air, each one gonna land somewhere. Sun would rise, but the smoke would hang. Blaze of glory, bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
And we're back here on the Highwaywoman radio show. Gurf Morlix is on the program. We're playing songs from his new album, Gurf Morlix Finds the Present Tense. And we're going to find out what Gurf's got in store for this year. Now, I just had a friend of mine on the show last week that Gurf Morlix has produced an album for in the past, and we'll have one coming out in the future, and that was Mr. Noel McKay. And yeah, are you doing a lot of producing right now, Gurf, or just you're kind of focusing now on this new album? So, Is that something, you
Yeah,
know?
for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been trying to tour as much as I can, and for a while it was working out there to sort of half and half. And lately, I haven't been producing as much as I used to be, but I still am always looking. There's if something comes along as good as Noel McKay and Brennan Lee, I'm going to want to do that. And, I just finished their new album, and I think it's rather spectacular. So I'm always looking.
Well, we're looking forward to any projects that you're involved in, of course. And I've heard a preview of Brennan and Noel's, and it's fantastic, of course. And I love the album you did on the McKay Brothers many years ago. And who do you listen to then? And right now, like if you're wanting to get zoned in, is there any artists that you listen to that you find inspiration from or comfort from when you're going through your own creative process?
Well, I listen to a lot of my friends, mostly. I listen to Sam Baker and Ray Bonneville and Mary Gauthier and Ray Wiley Hubbard and Slade Cleaves, and these people are all really great songwriters. Tom Russell, and they happen to be people that I've actually mostly worked with, and then I can always go back to the big four for me are Bob Dylan, Hank Williams, Muddy Waters, and the Beatles. It's like there's a lot of other stuff I like, but nothing I like better than those four. So pretty much that and my friends, and then anything new that comes along that catches my ear. I really like John Fulbright a lot.
Yeah.
There's good music all over the place now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd like to play Small Window. How about we play that for everybody?
That sounds good to me.
All right, here's Gurf Morlix with Small Window.
It's a small window I'm looking through. It ain't much of a view. I don't belong here. I believe that's true. It's a small window I'm looking through. But sometimes I think I can see you. Pretty sure that could be you.
And we're back here on the Highwaywoman radio show. I want to tell all of you to go right now and download Gurf Morlix Finds the Present Tense, and also Duct Tape Messiah, the album he did of Blaze Foley songs, and of course any Gurf Morlix record is a great record. And to go out and see a live show soon. Now, what have you got coming up? Tell me about 2013 for you, Gurf. What's on the agenda here?
And then I'm going to play the Kerrville Folk Festival with my friend Ray Bonneville. Just a bass playing gig for me, which is a promotion. I don't have to think it. And then I have a folk festival in Ontario, in Canada, in July, and then I'm off for a little while, and I have some shows in New York and Philadelphia, and coming down the East Coast in the end of September. And then I'm trying to figure out October at this point. I'd like to tour Western Canada, I think, back then, and then I'm going over to England and the UK in November and December. So my year's kind of full. It's amazing that it seems like there's nothing going on, and all of a sudden I look at my calendar and I'm busy until Christmas.
It's amazing how fast the time goes now. It seems just...
It really does. Precious commodity.
It absolutely. And we have a lot of listeners over in London and UK. We have a station that runs over there. What is your experience? What is it like over there for you? I mean, how do you like touring over in Europe?
Well, I really enjoy it. I like England a lot because when they sort of speak English over there, that's pretty good. I spent a month in Sweden last November, December. That was really nice, and they speak English really well. It helps a lot when they can understand the stories.
Right.
I can go on the tone of the song, but they're not catching the particulars if they're not understanding the English really well. But a lot of them do over there, and I play a lot in Holland and Germany, and they speak English really well in those places, and the art somehow goes deeper over there. They have a deeper understanding of art, and I think that it comes from being thousands of years old over there. We're this little pop culture that most places haven't been around more than 100 years, and they've had thousands of years to get everything together, and they just understand the art somehow.
Seem to value it more, you know.
It just goes deeper, and I love that. So I go over there every chance I get, which is usually something like once a year if I can do it.
We want to tell folks to go to gurfmorlix.com for your schedule and information. This album's available at all digital retailers as well as physical copies through Amazon and iTunes and all that good stuff. Right, Gurf? So.
Yeah. And through my website. I'll send you a signed copy through my website.
Woohoo! All right. Very cool. I want one of those.
with my DNA on the envelope.
I actually have one of those. I should have been very blessed.
I know you do.
Thank you for doing that. Also, too, for those of you in Texas to check out when Gurf is coming through your area here and all across the United States and the world. And I think it would be really fun to spend a month in Sweden. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Have you seen the film that I did while I was in Sweden? It's on the front page of my website.
I have not. No, I need to do that. What's the film about?
Go to my website. There's a film. It's called Psycho Blues: The Quest for Knockin'. And I went to Sweden with Kevin Triplett, who was the director of the Blaze Foley documentary. And the beauty of going on tour with a filmmaker with a camera became pretty obvious. We had a lot of time, and so we made up this little 20-minute film, and it's actually really funny. So it's worth a look.
Cool! Go look at it as soon as we're done. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see it, and want to tell our listeners too to check it out. And anything else coming up that you want to share with us, Gurf? You want to tell folks about?
Well, Noel McKay and Brennan Lee's record. I think that's coming out in September. Maybe they said.
Mm-hmm. We have a cut here. Yeah, Let's Go to Lubbock on Vacation. We've been playing it. So.
Yeah, they write and play and sing so well, and they're such nice people, and I just really love that album.
Oh, that's so cool that produced that record. We love the cut. I've only heard that cut, the Let's Go to Lubbock on Vacation, but can't wait to hear the rest of it. And I just want to say thank you to you, Gurf, for everything you've done for music and all the things you continue to do for other artists, and not just the Blaze Foley project, but just in general, art in general. And you're one cool dude, man. That's all I got to say about that.
Thanks, Bridget. I really appreciate that. That's really nice to hear.
Well, it is you may not hear it all the time, but there are people who do know and do appreciate not just your own art, somebody that goes beyond their own art and helps contribute to art as a whole. And those are the people that I feel I want to honor, at least on this show. And you have always done that with not just your own music, but other people's as well. When I can write a song as good as you, I'll come knocking on your door, and maybe you can produce a record of mine someday.
Please do, yeah.
All right, Gurf, thank you so much. And I want to go out with, actually, you know what? I'll let you choose. Is there a song in particular that you'd like us to go out with?
How about we go out with a series of Closing Doors?
All right. That sounds great. Series of Closing Doors.
Thanks, Bridget. That was a pleasure.
The rain hit the river and started to flow. And what I thought, I don't think no more. Like a wounded soldier back from the wars, I slipped through a series of closing doors.
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Bridget London, and this has been the Highwaywoman Radio Show.
Now there she goes, the highwaywoman, and she's brought music to your soul and moves along.